Good evening. Phil Lindemann, Krystal, 93 News. It's official. Today is the coldest of winter in Colorado. Lowest low in Summit County goes to Summit Cove, reporting negative 37 around 7:30 this morning. The top of Peak 8 at Breck was 20 degrees warmer at negative 16, but with gusts up to 24 miles per hour, wind chill there fell to negative 50. Coldest air temp goes to Antero Reservoir down in Park County, negative 48. Silverthorne Police Sergeant Joel Victor Ponadell surrendered to authorities this week after a months-long investigation. The 37-year-old cop is charged with 2 felonies and 3 misdemeanors in Evergreen for domestic violence and child abuse, first reported in November. He faces up to 9.5 years on all 5 charges. District Attorney Heidi McCollum.
The key here is that it doesn't happen just once, that whatever this behavior is, whether it's following, surveilling, harassing, it happens to a degree that it puts a victim in fear, or it causes a victim to suffer emotional distress.
Complicating this case is Ponadell's position.
Law enforcement officers are trained to work with victims of domestic violence, and they're also trained to work with perpetrators who have committed domestic violence. It adds another layer of complexity to any case.
Ponadell is now on leave with pay, and Silverthorne is launching an internal affairs investigation separate from the criminal case. Police Chief John Miner explains the Garrity warning, like a Miranda warning, but different.
What that warning in essence states is you will tell me the truth. You cannot remain silent, and you cannot lie. And there's severe sanctions if any of those things are not complied with.
Keeping Ponadell on payroll guarantees he cannot leave during the investigation. He is due in court March 1st. Domestic violence is one of the most common criminal offenses in the high country, second only to impaired driving. McCollum.
Domestic violence can range in severity from something charged as a petty offense all the way up to first-degree murder.
Since November, Summit Sheriff alone has cited 29 people for menacing, assault, harassment, tampering, stalking, and more, all linked to domestic violence. Many also came with child abuse charges. A Canadian cannabis powerhouse recently bought Breckenridge Distillery for nearly $103 million. The spirits business, an industry journal, broke that news recently. Breck Distillery founder Brian Nolt hopes the new owner, Tilray, will take Breck bourbon onto the global market and launch a new line of THC-infused spirits. In sports, a pair of physical therapists with Howard Head in Dillon just landed in Beijing, China. Krystal correspondent Matt Renoux of 9 News has the story.
2 local physical therapists, Lauren Russ and Sonia Garrison. These 2 women in particular, Lauren works with the technical team on the alpine skiing, so, all those slalom racers, which on a fringe includes Michaela Schifrin, although she's got her own team. And then Sonia Garrison works with snowboarder cross athletes. And so maybe she's going to see perhaps a lot of more of the action because those snowboard cross athletes are the guys that go down all at once, head-to-head 4 at once, and then run that course. Best time wins and kind of bumping into each other, a lot of crashes. Great event to watch because so much can happen.
Russ and Garrison are already at work. Alpine ski and other qualifiers are happening now. Opening ceremony for the Winter Games is tomorrow, Friday in Beijing, home to the 2008 Summer Olympics ceremony. And in local sports, today on the Warmup.
I've had my highest scores that I've gotten the past 2 years, and I qualified for states, which our diving team hasn't done for like 10 years, so it's been really awesome.
That was Summit High senior Stephanie Horvath, de facto captain for the Lady Tigers dive team. She is a gymnast by training who came to the diving well when injuries forced her off the mat.
I just love flipping through the air and just the thrill out of it.
Stephanie leads the Lady Tigers to the Western Slope League meet tomorrow, where she's hoping for the same perfect inward 1.5 that won her first place a few weeks ago.
We haven't been throwing very many new dives just to make sure that everything's consistent, as we don't really want to change anything.
This has been the Warm-Up with your Summit High Tigers, brought to you every Thursday and Friday by Alpine Lumber, Enza's Deli and Market in Silverthorne, and I Furnish in Frisco and Kremling. Phil Lindemann, Krystal, 93 News.